Plaintiff James Rubico claims he sold his friend a boat and trailer, but his buddy bailed when it was time to pay up. He's suing for $5,000. Defendant Timothy Judge claims his friend said forget about it and owes nothing.
Please raise your right hand. Do you swear the testimony you're about to give is the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
I do.
Yes, I do.
Thank you. The Honorable Judge Jerry now presiding. Good morning, Your Honor. This is case number 254 on the docket. Rubico versus Judge.
Okay, thank you, Najee. Welcome to both of you. Let me see what we have here. The plaintiff, James Rubico, is suing the defendant, Timothy Judge, for the amount of $5,000 for the remaining balance on a boat he purchased from you, a boat and a trailer. And Mr. Judge, you're saying that it was a gift, you don't owe him that money. Well, okay, let's start with the plaintiff. Why don't you tell me your side of the story?
Good afternoon, Judge.
Good afternoon.
I'm James Rubico from Tri-State Towing. I've owned a tow company in Las Vegas, Nevada for 23 years. I sell numerous vehicles, boats, jet skis over the years. And I met Mr. Judge. He was driving Lyft and Uber, and he was hit in a car accident. He called my company, went and picked up his vehicle. He was taken to the hospital. A couple days later, he came down to the tow yard, looked at his vehicle, and we started talking. Figured we had a lot of stuff in common. The friendship even went as far as I went and met his family. I went to the country of Colombia with him to meet his wife and the kids, and we had great conversations.
You guys became friends?
Yes, absolutely, Judge. Then he came in and said, "Hey, listen, me and my son, we're trying to get back on the right, on the right level, and I want to get a boat so they could do stuff together." And I said, "Well, I have a boat. My daughter's going to college. I really need the money. I really don't want to sell it, but I will sell it to you." Which we made an agreement. Now, you should have received a picture of the boat. You have that, correct, Judge?
Is this it?
Yes, sir, that's correct.
Yeah.
If you look at the second document, Your Honor, is the trailer, and that was $1,700.
I have here what appears to be a contract. The contract is the trailer for $1,700 and a boat for $5,000.
That's correct.
And so that's how you got to $6,700.
That's correct, Your Honor.
And putting the down payment was what, $700?
That's correct. That's a document that I also sent to you,
Okay, now
Your
on
Honor.
the contract, I see that both you and the defendant both signed it. So there is this written contract that he would pay you $6,700, and he put $700 down. So he would still owe you $6,000, but you're suing for $5,000.
That's correct.
Okay, so continue your story.
He picked up the boat, and then when I would call him and say, because we met in January roughly, and then he bought the boat in like the end of February, and then we did different things, and I was saying, I need to get the money to start paying stuff, things are getting tight. And I kept getting excuses, the covert, I can't drive Uber or Lyft. Judge, it was every excuse, but here's the money. I don't care if you gave me 5, you gave me 10, you gave me 15. No, show me a little respect that you appreciate what I did for you. It's hard times, but I pay my bills, Judge. I have to pay my rent, I have to pay all this stuff.
After the down payment of $700, he wasn't sending you $500 a month or any amount. Is that what you're saying?
Yeah, that's correct. I call it, him and his son wanted to get the boat. I call him Captain Saberhole, pick up the girls, and him and his son hang out. And in the meantime, I can't pay my bills because of this situation.
Yeah, he wanted, you just said, just as a sidelight here, you're saying he wanted the boat to pick up women?
That's correct, sir.
So, Timothy, you wanted to pick up women. What do you have, a taxi service?
No, Your Honor. Actually, I'm happily married to a Colombian female at the moment, so that's totally not true. Number 2, I'm a caterer, and all the music venues I had planned and booked for the season all got canceled, including my biggest one, the San Gennaro Feast in Hollandale, Florida. All got canceled because of the virus. So I told Jimmy what happened, And he said, listen, don't worry about it. We'll make it a gift. I can use the tax write-off.
So you're saying, just so I'm clear here, you're saying he told you that, from your point of view, he told you that this was a gift, that you didn't have to pay him back?
Yes, after he saw what happened with me with the virus, that I couldn't work now. All my concerts got canceled.
If you're saying it was a gift, then why is he suing you?
Because he's suffering with his business right now. Now he's feeling the virus, and he's in a pinch. So he's changing the rules in the middle of the game. That's not where I come from. I'm Italian. We're from Brooklyn. He's from Boston. We got hard heads. We shook on it. When you shake, that word is your bond. If I screw you, I end up in the trunk of my car. He screws me, he ends up in the trunk of his. That's how we do things back east. This is ludicrous right here.
Okay, so one of you, so you're from Brooklyn and he's from Boston?
Correct.
Okay, so he...
We don't write contracts.
Okay, okay, Jim, you root for the Red Sox?
Yes, sir.
Okay, and Tim, you root for what, the Yankees or the Mets?
Of course, the
Oh,
Yankees.
you're killing me, Judge.
You root for the Yankees?
Of course.
Okay, I rule for you. You win the case, Yankee fan. No, okay. What we're talking about here is nobody doubts that originally it was a $6,700 for the boat and the trailer.
Correct.
And the dispute here is that you're now saying that he forgave you that because of tough times that are going on with the COVID virus, that you're losing work because you're a caterer to large concerts. Obviously, no one's having concerts right now, so there's no money coming in. And yet, you're not saying to him, Tim, you're not saying to him, look, things are a little slow right now, you can understand it, but I still owe you the money, and I can pay a little bit now, and I'll get you the rest as soon as this concert comes through. Are you getting any money from the government or from unemployment or from stimulus checks?
No,
you getting any help?
I had a single stimulus check, one. Unemployment, still waiting for it. And I did make the offer to him, but like I said, we became good friends. He goes to Colombia with me all the time. He said, listen, don't worry about it. I got it for nothing.
Wait, your wife, why do you go to Colombia?
I live in Bogota, Colombia.
Oh, you live there now.
I come here
okay.
to do my venues, and I go back there. So 6 months back and forth. And he goes with me all the time. And then when he said to me, he says, listen, don't worry about it. I can use the tax write-off. Oh, great. Thanks, Jim. You did me a favor. Things have changed a little bit. He's on hard times now. Now he's chasing ducks.
You party a lot, don't you?
Your Honor,
don't you, Tim?
I haven't had a drink since 1975.
You must be thirsty.
Alcohol.
Oh, alcohol, yeah. How do you do it? Yeah, you're a camel. Okay, all right. No, when I say party a lot, it's because in this statement here, this is the release you gave in your answer to the suit. I'm quoting, I am a charmer. I had 4 wives, and they all joined me for Christmas with their boyfriends. Is that true? I'm only raising it because it's in the document.
I have 3 ex-wives, a current wife, and a couple friends with benefits. And yes, they all do come to my house in Vegas for Christmas with their husbands, boyfriends, and my 6 kids.
I went to a family party with them.
Jimmy, what are you talking about?
All 4 of them. I pulled them aside one by one and said, do you guys really get along? Is this an act? Judge, they really get along. They're friendly. They love each other. It's the craziest thing I've ever seen.
I think that's wonderful.
Yeah, I do too.
Yeah,
because I'm from a big family, 1 of 10, and my mother and father, all of us are from the same parents. But to see these people from different avenues together, it's nice. But I'm going to say this. I don't know, he should work for Disney the way he comes up with stories, because I got a 17-year-old daughter. The only thing in this world that matters to me is that kid. That's my whole life.
And I got 6 of them.
All right, I understand. Let me finish, please. So I'm not going to give anything to anybody that I have to take out of her mouth, and that's her money for school. So that was never said, and I don't know why it was said, but like I said...
This is all fascinating, and it would have clearly been the lead story on my other show. But here is what is relevant. Neither of you is disputing that this was the original written contract that both of you signed. that turns out to be fact. You both agree to it. Both signatures are on it. The terms are clear, so you have a written contract. Now, it is true that sometimes the obligations in a contract are forgiven. But if it is a written contract, then the forgiveness must also be in writing. If it were a verbal contract, if the contract just was you two guys are friends, and you say to the other guy, hey, I'll sell you to your friend, I'm going to sell you this boat at $6,700, and you agree on the terms and you shake hands, and that's great. It's a verbal contract. And later on, if you come in the same format and say, hey, guy, you know, we're best friends. I'm in such a pain right now. Can you give me a break? And then the other guy can say, okay, let's say this is a gift. You know, one day if you can pay me back, that's great. That would work in a verbal contract. But when the contract itself is written, the law will only recognize the forgiveness if it is also written. You can understand why. I believe you two guys seem like really nice guys. But you could understand that under the law, if you were allowed to forgive a contract verbally that was in writing, that means virtually anyone who wanted to get out of a contract that was written and signed and sealed could simply say, oh, we were out drinking one night and he told me I didn't have to pay anymore. And how would the courts rule? The courts would never know. That is why when you come to court, you have to have the evidence. And the evidence has to be, since the contract was in writing, the forgiveness has to be in writing. And because it's not, I hope you guys can stay friends. I hope you guys still get to go to Colombia one day. I hope you,
Your Honor.
you know, I'll give you a chance for a closing comment unless you can show me something in writing which said that he forgave you, then it doesn't hold up against this document which clearly says, and you agreed to it, that you were going to pay him $6,700. I'm saying for the court to enforce a contract, I need, you know, someone's going to say, where's the proof? He could have just been saying that. That's why in a court, you have to have the evidence. You have to submit it. And since I don't have that, now, because it's the principle, I understand this could very well affect your friendship. You may say to him, hey, you know, you told me I didn't have to pay anymore.
Oh, he'll admit it later.
You and I both know that, and therefore, this friendship is over.
His finances
My guess
changed,
is he's
that's
still
all.
going to... Yeah, but my guess is he's still going to come to Colombia with you.
I
And
know.
he's still going to take...
I know.
Yeah. And one day you're going to...
I'll make him pay the check out there.
You guys will get back. But
It's the principle. It's a gift. I'm writing it off as a tax. It's the principle, never about the money.
it's not about the money. So
When I'm right, you can't make me wrong. That's a Brooklyn thing.
Yeah, okay.
Money isn't everything. Friendship's a lot more than that. Okay, so for him to take that stance, I don't like.
It's not about the money. It's about the principle. I have $6,000 right here in my hand. Okay? He ain't getting it. It's principle. He said, forget about it. We're writing it off. End of story.
Well, if you have it, pay him. Judgment for the plaintiff.
You know, you see a gentleman sitting there with $6,700 in his pocket, and that's kind of slap in the face to me.
I had a great time on the boat. I'm going to continue to have a great time on the boat. And go out there, pick up all the broads I can. And I'm going to probably give him the $6,000 anyway, just to shut him up.
I just think the judge made the right decision.
I feel bad for him now. I'll give him the money. He needs it that bad. And that'll be the end of that. And we'll stay friends.